I got a Heathkit Hero 1 robot. Yeah, but it's no Hero 2000. Ooh.
Go Hero.
Ready.
Alright, here's the latest updates on this Hero Rescue. I guess maybe we'll call this part 4 or something. I don't know yet. But here's Hero. He's up and running. Got his plastic all reinstalled. And he's running version software on board 1.3. He does basic stuff. He can home himself, and I can teach him to to move around a room at a specific pace, or specific pattern, say phrases. But I'm still learning the system, so I figured I'd give him a little upgrade. And I found a good website for this is the robotworkshop.com. This guy named Robert there, he's got a lot of parts for these, a lot of information, manuals, and all kinds of goodies. And I saw from some other YouTube videos this has an auto roaming feature that you can install, and a lot of them had it. A lot of people installed it, but this one didn't have it, so it really can't do much out of the box without getting a program or being programmed. Yeah, I'm not quite proficient yet, still learning, so I figured why not get one of these auto roams. And the prices aren't bad, aren't really bad. So I emailed him from the information I got on the website. He's got, like I said, a bunch of Hero stuff and other robots. And I figured while I'm at it, let's expand his memory. So I got the memory expansion kit and the auto ROM, or the auto mode, which is this chip here where he will roam around like you've seen from, there's a couple other YouTube videos that show him doing this. And I thought that was really cool. And when I got it, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to try that out. But he didn't have the ROM installed. So we got it here. I think at the time it's around $25. So it really wasn't too expensive. And then I figured while I'm at it, I might as well expand the memory for future projects. And he sells this on his website as a kit. This is how I received it. And actually this stuff is extra parts. We'll get into that. But these two items for the memory expansion and the auto ROM. And some nice how-to documentation here and how to install it. So we'll go ahead and upgrade his ROM and also do the auto mode, which is pretty cool. I also got some spare parts. They still make this stuff. Some of the rubber bushings that hold his panels together, we're just missing. Or completely dry rotted. So ordered some replacements for those. These are the foam pads for his gripper hands that go on here. These are not, I kind of made these up before I got that, but those would be the original ones. So we'll get started on this. It should be a pretty cool project. And like I said, I already did some videos with him with the training module, just driving around the house and stuff, but I didn't really ever put anything together with that. So let's get started on this. Kind of in there, so I think perhaps the safest route is to just remove the CPU board which isn't that difficult. Apparently I already had a bolt loose. Oh, air conditioning's kicking on. Now I have had this board out previously. Apparently I forgot to tighten the screws, which I just found out. I only finger tightened them. Note to self, double check nuts to make sure they are in there tighter than finger tight. Alright, let's get the IO board down. Quick, I guess a quick tip. There was 4 nuts on there. Like I said, I've been previously working on this and put the nuts back. I forgot. Hold on to your nuts inside the robot, and if you loosen these, it loosens the nut that's in the back as well, so you can get these things out. See that? That one's out. Get this top one. Out. And that's just the way you can get these loose. Makes it a little easier on you. All right. And then you can slide out take out the motherboard that's in there. It's not hard. Just remember where these things go. And everything's freaking labeled in here, so you're not gonna mess it up. Yeah, there's just 4 connections on the motherboard. The rest are through these pins that go to your I/O board. This will just come out with a little bit of prying. Go. Oh, come on up. Come on. All right, got that out. Let me put that on my little. Got a little ESD pad here. Get it out. So we're actually moving the microprocessor from this main board over to the memory expansion board. Okay. So where we left off, I got to pull this microprocessor off this board and add it to the memory expansion board. And for that, I'm just going to use a giant screwdriver and gently pry. So just kind of tune in next week when I break this freaking chip in half. If you got a chip puller, definitely do that route. But I don't have one, but it seemed to come out pretty easy. Hell of a lot easier than doing it when it was in there. And it says to inspect, make sure we're good. As you can see, there's the numbers on that chip. The almighty Motorola 6808P. Dun, dun, dun. So minding pin 1, and also pin 1 on the circuit board, on the new board. And will it go here? No. No. It'll only fit in that spot. And let me move this over just to make sure I got that lined up real good. Looks good. Beauty Clark! And with your thumbs, crack it in. Alright, the microprocessor has been transferred to the new board. Dun dun dun! This is like the short version. Of course, when you're putting this in, you got the detailed instructions. So talks a little bit here about this auto mode. If your main board already has the auto mode chip to move, I guess you're going to move it from here to here, but it also mentions not to move the jumpers. Since this didn't have it, the jumpers are probably in their default location. I'm just gonna, it says not to change the jumpers, so I won't, but I might have to go back and reference these jumpers to install the auto mode. I'm not sure yet. I'm just gonna leave it alone, see what happens as far as these jumpers here. This board, according to the website, this was built and tested. It has all the jumpers, I guess, pre-installed. I'm not going to really touch anything, but if it talks about jumpers, I'll definitely take a look at it. So, okay, now it's telling me on the inside of the robot cavity in the upper right-hand corner, there's a power supply socket, and it looks like I'm going to have to pop out a pin and tap some power in that. Which is in the upper slot here. Alright. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the power supply pin right there. Oh! Circuit board's over. And I'm going to break into the goodie bag. It talks about the green wire. So, put this in here. And we got a little jumper thingy. I'm going to fire up my soldering iron. Get that warmed up. Alright, so here's a connector that was supplied with the kit. Alright, on the power supply socket, locate the green wire going to socket hole 6. And the power supply wire in here, and yes, I found the green power supply wire to 6, and get that out. Splice in the green wire from this connector to the green wire of number 6 from that power supply. I'm just going to solder this wire into that tab, since I got the soldering iron, and that'll make a pretty good joint there. So I'm going to solder green to green without burning my finger. Can he do it, folks? Where's my solder? Okay, solder and soldering iron. I'm going to pre-tin this wire. And this is old robot, so you got to use lead solder. It'll kill all the ducks in Arizona, but like, call the doctors. Cancel the 3-ring circus. You can just crimp it without soldering, but I like soldering because it's like permanent. There we go. And that wire's all soldered together. It's should use heat shrink tubing, but let's just use it to cover up that. Cover up that solder joint, a little bit of electric tape on there. I usually use heat shrink tubing, but yeah, let's just get this done. Alright, that's going to go back into 6. And that was 6, right? Or was that 9? Depends on which direction you're looking at it. Oh, I can see why they provided you with a new one. This thing was slipping out. There we go. Get in there. It's in there now. Okay, that's spliced in. Locate hole 3 in the power supply socket. Okay, I located it. Note that hole 3 may have a single red wire, or it might have a red and blue wire in the same manner as with the red wire coming from the 4-wire 2-socket cable assembly. Alright, so got the red wire here. Let's do it. Okay. Let me pop number 3 out. Pre-tin this red wire. Ooh. Brilliant. And then this guy. There's your hero coming to life and going, "What are you doing to me? This does not feel right. Help me, please. Put hot iron in my belly." Oh. All right. Cover this up. Wrap that in there. All right. And then, yep, this goes here back into number 3. Okay, here it's in. Okay, so I got the red wire attached to 3 and the green wire attached to 6, just like the instructions say, to a point. Plus size socket S201 face downward. Push the socket back into the chassis. So the slots are these guys here, 1 through 12, to make sure you're putting it into the right spot. You want to make sure this thing's lined up, get a good peek in there, because there's nothing in there that kind of helps, but you could mistakenly plug that in. You could put it in backwards, you could put it like over one, over left one. So you do have to make sure that you've centered that connector when you push that in. So, all right, now we have this wired up to the power supply wires, and you can shut the power soldering iron off, and okay, make sure. Okay, now we're off to the next step. In the robot, we've got some spacers here that we're going to mount here and here, and this board is going to sit up like that. Or something of that nature. But we'll figure that out once we get that in there. This came with it. This is just an insulator card. So the instructions say to cut this to 4 by 6 inches. This little card here, and say it like that. Trace this thing out and mark the hole location. 2 stamps, and we'll cut this to fit. I don't see a problem with this. Actually, the Hero's got a lot of little cardboard separators inside of it. I guess you could use anything you want, plastic, or I got this black foam I could even use. And we'll keep it simple. Let me make some holes. And all there, Oh, so scientific. Look at that. It's epic. You didn't see me just flip that board over there, did you? Alright. Very unprofessional I am. Alright, I'm going to put this board back in. Let me see that. Let me see the fit on that. As you can see, you are gonna, looks like it's gonna go in like that and then loop over. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. So it's gonna go in like this. Yeah, I might as well just put that in there now, just so I'm not like contorting. Make sure that's going in right. Yes. Kind of, you can see that. I'm gonna put this board back in and reattach it. I'm not gonna reattach these two screws on this side because instead we're going to install. I kind of see what they're doing there, and this bad boy looks like it's gonna go like this on here, and this is gonna go like that. Spacer 1. Spacer 2. This is awesome. Alright, now this bad boy. Plug it in. Something like that. Push the 3-hole socket with the orange, black, and green wires into the memory expansion board. Alright, orange, black, and green is right here. So that good. Plug that in. Okay, now we can kind of start getting this in here. Good fit, just like that. Yeah, that's like perfect. So it goes in there right like that. So I'm gonna put this little insulator in here, like that. It came with 2 flathead screws. Flathead? This is outrageous. What is this, 1910? We building wagons here? Alright, I quit. Flathead. We'll just start that in there. Get the other flathead. See, I put that insulator spacer in there. Now we get our little flathead screwdriver action toy. And tighten her up. It looks like this was meant to be. Straightforward. Okay, now there's this little regulator to deal with. Judging from the paper here, it's this one. From the location of it. Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, there's flathead screws all through Hero. I take it back. We're not building wagons. We're building a Hero Robot. Hero Robot uses flathead screws everywhere. It says red wire is here on the edge. So going flat. Ooh. Doesn't look like the illustration. However, I'm just going to go for it. But it says red wire on that end like that. So that's the connection according to the... But it just doesn't show these 2 little things in the drawing. But that's okay. And this is going to go like... Yeah. And it's going to use the chassis to... Around that, put a lock washer in there. It looks like a wiener. All right. Look at that. That's like a perfect fit. That's actually really nice. See how that fits in there like that? Take the camera off. You can just kind of see how that, and the light's not that great, but the thing just fits right in there. That's a beauty, Clark. Yeah, so the memory expansion board is installed. We'll go ahead and seal her up like this. I followed the instructions, so it should work. Where did you put in me a Dorito chip?
Ready.
Let's try this again. A, D.
Please select speed.
Alright, so that's working. Yeah, the instructions here is with the memory upgrade, it moves from, if the address of the,
Low voltage.
yeah, my batteries are running low, I gotta give them a little charge, but if your ROM is at U417, that's where, if you didn't have the memory expansion, since the memory expansion now has it at U102 for that chip, I just give it the address of that and it asks me to select speed, so it sounds like it's working. So I'm gonna put him on a charger for a little bit and see if he can do his roaming about the room, which would be interesting to watch. That's what I kind of wanted to really see. And I'm sorry I didn't give a lot more information on the memory expansion. I'll probably do a follow-up that'll talk about this more. I just thought I'd throw it in there, just to have it with some of the upcoming experiments I'm planning. I don't know all of the details on it. There's a lot of information about it. Maybe I should actually read something and learn. So yeah, there's a lot of information here. I'm sure there's some, it talks about how to access that extra RAM. And as we go, I will see how to use it. See, here's the instructions on the location of the memory. And such, and at some point we'll get into this a little deeper. If you have a Hero robot and you've run into like some memory constraints, definitely check this out. It's a way to go. It's what a couple people told me, that Robert's got some good stuff over there, and when we start utilizing it, I will definitely let you know, and see how much the bigger brain this guy has.